Hey YouTube, Arizona Gardener here. A while back on my EDC video, I had shown this container of dental floss that I packed in my EDC, and someone had commented on my post and was giving me extra points for it. And I had learned to carry this when I was in Boy Scouts because it does have a lot of uses. This particular container is got 55 yards, so a little over 150 feet of material that can be used, and it's not very heavy. It's very lightweight, so it does have some value. Some of the uses that you can use dental floss for, there's hundreds of them, but for our purposes today, I'm going to talk about the prepping, or more along the lines of the survival outdoors needs. Some of them can be used in a normal everyday life. So here's some of them. You can hang things. Dental floss is made of a durable and strong material. Instead of using wire or string, you can use the dental floss, maybe even double it up, to hang picture frames, wind chimes, so on and so forth. You can make a do-it-yourself clothesline out of this. I would probably double it up at bare minimum. But if you're out camping and you got clothes wet and you needed to get them dry, you can hang them up. So, you know, it's doable. You can cut food into thin strips or pieces. Just wrap your finger with dental floss and wrap the other end of the floss around your finger, and you can cut through cakes, cheeses, hard-boiled eggs. You can cut them up into slices or into pieces. If you found some wild quail eggs or something and you wanted to cut them up into small pieces, I guess you could. Essentially, you would just kind of, you know, do it in a small section here, but you'd wrap one end, you'd wrap the other, and you work your way back and forth to cut. And it's some pretty strong stuff. It's not going to break very easily. Okay, so buttons. If you can see the diameter of this is not very thick, so it would be actually ideal to get through a sewing needle. And you can sew buttons, hooks, repair some tears, would work well for that. Another thing you can do, you can tie up some packages. If you got small packages, you can use dental floss instead of string. If you needed something and you didn't have any string on hand, you could use that to tie up the packages and secure a lid. Do-it-yourself fishing rod. You could, this is 150 feet, so that's quite a bit of line. You could use a big stick, and if you had a hook or made a hook out of bone, you could tie the dental floss around. I would probably use the non-waxed variety of dental floss so it wouldn't float, but if you put a weight on the end of it, it would sink under the water. So you could use that as a do-it-yourself fishing guide. You can remove a ring from a finger. Here's another good use for it. You've got you put a wedding. You see, you get I don't have my wedding band on, but you put your ring on, and you would tie it down. What it would do, it would compress your finger enough so that you'd be able to take the ring and slide it off. So another good use, especially if you got your hands are swollen and the ring's starting to cut circulation off to your finger. It's a good way to get that gone. Let's see. You can give support to climbing plants if you're out in the garden. You don't have any string, or you don't have any gardener's tape, so you don't have any of this. This garden tape, you could use the floss. Repair outdoor equipment. You can use the dental floss because it's a strong and durable material. You can use it to fix outdoor equipment such as tents, windbreakers, backpacks, anything that kind of needs to be patched up. You can use the floss also to patch a hole in a tent. You could sew the torn seams also if your tent seam has come apart. Secure the loose hooks and other equipment on your backpack, or maybe your shirt, your gear. You can repair shoes. You can replace the worn stitches on shoes or boots by stitching through the holes where the stitching was. You can also make a small net. You'd probably need quite a few of these to do that, but you could make a small net and possibly catch small fish in the river or something along those lines. The other thing you can use this stuff for is a shoelace. If you doubled it up, and did a pretty good length and tied it off at the end and even twisted it off, you would have you'd have a pretty good strong material to tie off shoes. Some of the other uses I thought of for this, you could use this in making traps for animals. Obviously, we'd want to check how strong this is, and we're going to do a video here. After this, we're going to do a quick video here of how strong dental floss is to find out, what can it hold. So that's some of the other things you can do with dental floss, and possibly make a replacement bow or temporary bowstring. With that, I'd probably take 2 or 3 layers of floss, and I would weave them or braid them together to act like a bowstring. And I don't know how long it would or how it would work. I'm not an archer, but it's just a thought of, possibility of what can you do with it. So next thing we want to try here is to see how strong the dental floss is. So we're going to start with a 10-pound weight. That's a pretty good weight. I have other weight here, so if this doesn't work, we can use less weight, more weight. But this is kind of going to be a good test to see what's one strand. This is just single strand, not doubled up at all. So let's tie a pretty good knot in this thing. Let's see. Now the question is, how strong is this? Because if you're going to rely on this in the outdoors for lashing together a shelter, you're going to want to know, hey, how, this thing, I wouldn't recommend hanging your body off of this thing by any stretch of the imagination. I think that would be foolish and rather dangerous. But you could, use this to, like I said, make a shelter. And 150 yards, that saves your paracord for something that can handle a much greater weight. So what we're going to do here, let me see if I can get my foot out of the way. We are going to see, I'm going to put this on the ground. Whoop, okay, it won't hold 10 pounds. So single-stranded, it won't hold 10 pounds. It just broke right off. So what we'll do is we'll try 5 pounds, and I'm just tying up 2.5 pound weights to see if it'll hold 5 pounds of weight. Because I guess it is important to know, hey, if you're going to rely on this, what's it going to hold? If it can't hold weight, then obviously you'd want to use it for lighter weight items. Okay, here's 5 pounds sitting on the ground. Okay, won't do 5 pounds. So single-stranded, this stuff won't hold a lot of weight. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to double string this. I'm going to just take one strand, and I'm just going to double it up. So what I'm going to do is just tie a knot in the end of it, so let's see, so this doesn't get all goofy. And we'll try this again. We'll tie it around the 10-pound weight. Actually, put this up here. So what I'm doing is I'm tying this off on the 10-pound weight, double-stranded, to see kind of what will this hold. We know single-stranded it won't hold very much because we just showed that it won't even hold 10 pounds, won't even hold 5 pounds. So I'm hoping that when you strand this up, much like you would with natural fiber, that this would be much stronger. So, okay, here we go. This is 10 pounds. Let's see, can we see this? Okay, double strands. It's holding, you can see, 10-pound weight, but not for very long. So it held it for a little bit, but not very long. So one thing I could say is I wouldn't use it for holding massive weight, but I would attempt to use it for lashing and some of these other projects that we mentioned that it doesn't require a large amount of weight. That's what you carry 550 paracord for. Even if you break it out into individual strands, you can use it. You can use it as well. So, just a quick video. Some uses for dental floss. Obviously, it doesn't have a super high tensile strength, but it does have some strength to it. It's very difficult to break through it cleanly. So it's something that I've always used it. You can also use it for fire starter. The wax acts very much like a candle, and it will burn out pretty good. That's one of the few things that one of the things I've originally learned, as well as backup shoelaces and a few other things that made pretty good sense. So that's just some of the uses for dental floss. Why I carry my EDC. You can sew with it. You can fix buttons and other odds and ends. It's lightweight. It's not meant to replace 550 paracord, but it will do the job. Especially if you're out in the field. You can also use this as another medical use was sutures. If you had to do you had to stitch yourself up, you could use dental floss for that. It will work, and the waxed variety will hopefully be a little bit better than that. There are some different strengths. This is a rather flat nylon tape. They make some round nylon and different diameters. So I'm sure that other stuff would be a little bit stronger. But again, if I were to use it to rely on it, I'd probably 2 or 3 strand it, and I surely would not want to put any kind of serious weight off. That would be something that would, in a life-threatening measure. I wouldn't hang from a side of a cliff with it, that's for sure. So just a few uses for the dental floss, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.